Your plane is flying at an altitude of 17,000 feet, at a speed of 600 kilometers per hour. The temperature outside is minus 20 degrees Celsius. And the captain of the plane is not in the cockpit. He has been sucked out of the aircraft. The flight attendant inside is trying to prevent him from falling by holding on to just his legs. Was it a terrorist attack? No. It is British Airways Flight 5390, one of the most unbelievable incidents in aviation history. And believe me, the only thing responsible for this nightmare was a wrong bolt that was just 0.66 millimeters too thin. I am Skytech. Today, through the eyes of a B1 technician candidate, we are examining how doing a job by eye in aviation can turn into a murder. The date is June 10, 1990. The aircraft model is a BAC-111. Just 13 minutes after taking off from Birmingham, during the climb, the windscreen in front of Captain Tim Lancaster blew out with a massive explosion. In aviation, we call this explosive decompression. The high-pressure air inside the cockpit suddenly rushed toward the low pressure outside, ejecting the captain out of the window like a bullet. Fortunately, flight attendant Nigel Ogden grabbed the pilot's legs at the last second. Co-pilot Alastair Acheson displayed true heroism, managing to land the plane alone in Southampton amidst the chaos, blaring alarms, and freezing cold. Despite freezing outside and taking numerous blows, Captain Lancaster survived. So, why did that window blow out? Let's move to the technical side of the incident, to our domain, the hangar. Today, in modern aircraft, windows and doors feature a plug-type design. What does this mean? The window is mounted from the inside out. As the plane climbs, the cabin pressure increases, and this pressure pushes the window even tighter against the frame. Even if the bolts fail, the window cannot blow out. However, the design of the BAC-111 was different. The window was mounted from the outside, not the inside. So, when the plane climbed, the tons of air pressure inside pushed the window outward, and the only force holding it in place was the threads of the bolts around that frame. The seeds of disaster were sown right there with the design. All that was left was human error. 27 hours before the accident, the aircraft is brought in for maintenance during the night shift. The maintenance manager's job is to replace the left windscreen. Normally, the only thing he had to do was open the AMM, the aircraft maintenance manual, and check the part number of the bolt he needed to use from the IPC, the Illustrated Parts Catalog. But he didn't do that. He used a very dangerous method, doing it by eye, or a like-for-like replacement. He put the bolts he removed from the old window into his pocket, went to the store, and picked out bolts that looked identical to him. The original bolt he was supposed to use was the A211-8D. However, for 84 of the 90 bolts, he installed the A211-8C. This bolt was exactly 0.66 millimeters thinner than it should have been. Less than a millimeter. The other 6 bolts were the correct diameter, but they were 2.5 millimeters too short. When the aircraft reached 17,000 feet, the internal pressure stripped the insufficient threads of those thin bolts, and the window shot out like it was launched into space, with absolutely zero resistance. So how did such an experienced maintenance manager make this mistake? In aviation, there are 12 basic human errors we call the dirty dozen. This accident is practically a summary of that list. First, the technician was working the night shift. he was fatigued. Second, the lighting in the hangar was inadequate. Third, the technician had reading glasses, but he wasn't wearing them at the time. Because of this, he couldn't see that 0.66 mm difference. And most importantly, a duplicate inspection was not performed. There was no second set of eyes to verify his work. In my last video, I talked about the AOG Technics scandal and how bogus parts can bring down an aircraft. Today, we saw that even if the part in your hand is 100% original and certified, if you don't open and read the AMM, that original part can turn into a weapon far more dangerous than a fake one. In aviation, there is no room for the overconfidence of saying, "I have been doing this for years, I can do it with my eyes closed." Knowledge isn't memorized, it is looked up in the manual. Don't forget to subscribe for more technical detective stories and aviation analysis. You can drop the topics you want us to examine next in the comments. Wishing you safe flights and clean maintenance.